focus. Manga, animator, anything. Alright, let's do this. Weekly is the basis. Worst generation. Cooking up a feast while he's turning through the pages. Theories that he's making from shonen to seinen. Locked in, analyzing, using observation. Yeah, observation. Rambling addiction.
Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Straw Hat Lucas YouTube channel. It's me, Straw Hat Lucas, and a long time no see. I know I've been away working on a huge episode of this series right here, Rambling Addiction, the show where I talk and you listen. And tonight, where Vexyz the Lurking Legend also talks and you listen. Vex, how we doing tonight?
Yo. Oh man, I'm ready. I feel like the levee's about to break. Like the whole floodgates are about to. I've been ready to yap about this series for so long. I cannot wait.
Yes, yes. If you did not see on the thumbnail and by the title, we are going to be yapping about To Be Hero X, and more specifically, what we think is going to kind of go down next season, right? Like, who's going to be placed where, how this big battle between all of these heroes that were set up. We have 11 candidates, as you can see on screen here tonight, that we are going to define here and now, Vex, definitively, who will be Hero X.
Oh man, you put me on the spot. I think we should start from the bottom. Like legitimately.
No, but I meant by the end of the stream.
I thought you were asking me right now.
No,
we'll get there, bro. Yeah, stay tuned.
Keep watching, guys. Yes, we are going to start right at the bottom, which, as you guys can see, the tier list starts with the top one being X. That will be who we think will be the next Hero X, as I stated. And then it goes down in descending numerical order until we get to 10/Z, because we have 11 contenders for this position right now. Isol, as Vex pointed out to me right before the stream, has not shown up to the arena yet, and Nice is there for some reason. Little strange, little strange. So Vex, who do you think is going to go into like the bottom one, like the 11th position?
So, man, realistically, I think that there's a few people who could end up at the bottom, but I am also weighing in my own vibes whenever I'm placing a lot of these. So for me specifically, just because they're so clearly painted as a villain, it has to be Dragon Boy.
Dragon Boy, really? That is interesting.
I have a bit of a spiel, and I'm thinking that if we get more from him in season 2, then obviously things might change a bit. But to me, it feels like we haven't seen much of his actual character. We have just seen like him being kind of groomed by Uncle Rock and used as a weapon. And, you know, the goal is for him to eventually become the next Zero, which is attainable through becoming X, but it's not necessarily the same thing. But we don't really know anything about Dragon Boy himself, other than like from the backstory that we got when he met Uncle Rock, is that he kind of a freak. Like he's kind of like a masochist. I don't know, but like,
yes,
we really don't have any other defining traits about him himself. Only the him that is portrayed to the masses. He's had so little characterization and has virtually zero redeemable moments. Aside from that, his power is that's what I said. His power is really sick, and his design is cool. You know, but I don't even understand how he got close to the top 10 in the first place before the Smile and Nice incident. Like, he was approaching top 10 already. He was like a full-on villain, kind of, it felt like. And then when we get past that, now he's like rank 3 or some shit.
Yes.
And I don't even know how the people voted to allow him to participate in the tournament at all. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. So as it currently stands,
they saw him attack Nice as well after he took down Smile, right? They saw him straight up attack Nice. So yeah, they know he's not the best person. So I wonder if it's not a combo of not only trust but fear for Dragon Boy.
Yeah, and like the top 10 rankings are solely based off of the trust value system, but clearly fear has a bigger role in season 2, I believe. Fully, I completely believe that, and I'll unpack that a lot more with some of my future rankings. But my thing is I don't fault Dragon Boy fully himself for his poor showing or for what he himself lacks. So there is a lot of room for him to like close the gap maybe between some of the rest, but everyone else has just had such a, even Ahu and X, who only had like 1.5 or 2 episodes apiece, like just we got a better showing from them. Nice didn't even have his own dedicated arc, and we got a better showing from Nice in Dragon Boy's arc. So it's like when we're looking at it narratively, he's just too, he's shallow from what we've gotten, and he's so clearly painted as a villain that I could never see him actually becoming X, except for like maybe like a gotcha moment where it's like, oh, he succeeds and then someone else comes out of nowhere or left field or something and yoinks it from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, I did not have Dragon Boy at the very, very, very bottom. I had him at 10 because I do agree 100% with what you're saying, that I think he's very arrogant. He's very much, even if it does appear that he's been in some ways groomed into the position that he's in because of what we saw throughout his episodes. And like you said, he's trying to become Zero. And is that what it is? Zero, right?
Yeah, Zero is what,
the
like,
god,
the first
like,
hero ever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and
he's
so,
trying to become that. So like, he has a goal, but it's a superficial goal that was implanted onto him. So I think that will come into
goal.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I've had him as 10. I have X as last because of the way he entered the tree.
Damn.
Because I think after
Hold
everything he said to Ahu in his episode, he wants to disrupt this trust system. And there's no better way than willingly stepping out of the battle and saying, I need to give it to someone else because that's what a hero would do, or something like that. You know what I mean? So his trust will skyrocket still because he's a virtuistic person in that moment, but he'll still be like, do you see how faulty your system is?
I'll speak on X a lot more when we get to where I actually rank him. That's crazy. Like, I do think that
like power play style.
Well, I think he's inting. He's coming in here and showing his hand, which he's never done before. And like, this is his like 4th consecutive term, potentially. Yeah. He's already served 3 consecutive terms, or at least 2.5, but he's never revealed his face, and his identity and his location haven't been compromised until like now. So it's like, I do think something is very, very drastically different now from his previous tournaments, but I'll speak more on that later on in the stream. Yeah. My thing is with Dragon Boy is that it's not just that he himself has to have a significant glow up. It's that everyone else has to also have a significant drop off for Dragon Boy to actually get the top 1 seat. You know what I mean?
I have to agree 100%. The only one I could see if X doesn't power play big brain, like, haha, watch me do this kind of shit and like drop out of the competition, like I'm kind of theorizing about, I really see Isol being considered dead last because he still hasn't even shown up at the competition's about to begin.
Well, I don't even think he's allowed in the top 10. A lot of the fan discourse is that Nice resurfacing has pushed him out and he's no longer eligible, but there could be like a Boa style crash out where someone's taken out and he reclaims his position. I don't know. I'll speak more on Isol very shortly, trust me. But I think that the thing is with X, I think that yes, he has narratively, thematically, almost a 0% chance of emerging fully victorious here. But I think that he holds enough power to be able to sway this in a way that makes other people even less likely than him. You know what I mean?
Ooh, yes, I do. I get what you're saying entirely.
So I wouldn't rank him this low, like at all, in my opinion.
I'd be down to throw Dragon Boy up in there for now, but I still think Isol is a better candidate for the very dead last position. But I'll hear your piece on him.
Yeah, if you want, I actually have Isol ranked at number 10. So very close to dead last. No, not Nice, Isol.
No.
But with E-Soul specifically, I share a lot of sentiments that I have with Dragon Boy, but the main difference is that the narrative framing is more there for Yang Chen to potentially have a redemption arc because he actually has something to redeem. Whereas with Dragon Boy, we have not seen anything that makes him worthy of like having a redemption arc. Exactly. Like Rock has 2 Nepo babies now, and E-Soul is one of them. And what's crazy to me is that Dragon Boy is where he's putting all his eggs into that basket. With E-Soul specifically, he didn't even build him up from a very, very young age to be this person for the purpose of becoming Zero or anything like his ultimate goal. He did it for a revenge plot because the original E-Soul, like 4 decades ago, was the person who dealt the final blow to the original Zero at the Dawnfall incident. So this is like, you're not even like the front runner Nepo baby of like the guy that has put you on, which is crazy to me. And we see Yang Chen like discarding his own humanity and individualism to pursue fame. And he's like pretending to be a martyr. Like, it's for the people.
It broke my heart. I'm not going to lie. After his setup,
the thing is he did at least start off as like a decent guy. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I don't know. I feel like I could see it being that maybe he gets frustrated because he's not the golden goose and he thought he was, and he goes on a crash out spree and maybe targets well, he might target Dragon Boy or Nice or something like that. I don't know, but like it's really interesting. I could see a deeper connection, and he is still able to be voted on, even though he is probably, from what we've seen in the finale of season 1, not present for the top 10 tournament and possibly not eligible. So I don't know. You could still vote for him, which there's a pinned message in chat if you guys want to actually go and cast your votes, and you can assign trust value to your favorite heroes now, which will somehow affect the outcome when we get to season 2 and actually see the tournament unfold. But I think that E-Soul, the interesting thing with him that I think puts him over Dragon Boy is that there is the precedence that the original E-Soul had already dealt the final blow to the original Zero. Yeah. So if Dragon Boy were to become something like a new Zero, the new E-Soul would already have the precedence of taking him out.
Dude, you cooked. Oh shit. You just blew my mind. I'm sorry.
So yeah, that's why I put E-Soul just a little bit over Dragon Boy, although they are both largely in the same boat because they're both just Rock's Nepo babies. So I'm just like, I don't know. I think he is redeemable to a degree, whereas I don't think Dragon Boy has any shot at redemption, period. So that's why I put him at 10.
I can agree with this now. Now I see. Like I said, I was waiting for the reason for E-Soul. So yeah, we'll put E-Soul as number 10 and Dragon Boy as dead last because once again, 0 redeemable qualities.
He a bum. Yeah, he a bum. Who did you have at 10?
At 10, I had E-Soul. Or no, I had Dragon Boy. Dragon Boy. Like we basically switched. Yeah, what we wanted. Yeah. Because I figured both of them, like the way that they were set up, I like I said, I'd agreed with you that there's no redeemable qualities to Dragon Boy, but E-Soul, it legitimately broke my heart when he betrayed what is his girlfriend's name?
Because no one remembers.
Yes. no one remembers. But when, she'd said something to him like that, if you lose your way, I can't like go with you or whatever. It's something very similar to that. And then I thought about like, man, her little brother, that's his personal hero. That's the first person to put that trust in him that gave him the electricity powers. Like, And now he's turning his back on them because they're just another number on his wrist, and he needs that fame, he needs that power. And it's just like, ugh, dude, you're making all the wrong choices. So if he takes out Dragon Boy in like an ultimate redemption moment, yeah, I'm back on the E-Soul train. But at a distance where he's in number 10.
This E-Soul train is just so funny to me. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you caught that.
Yeah,
That's
I
good
think
juice.
that's a big upset for me, and I would actually like. I'm actually really hungry for an E-Soul redemption arc, but I feel like he might have gone too far at this point. I don't know. It's like I think there's still the potential there. I could see a world where it happens, but and like part of me really wants to see it. Part of me is like, nah, you a bum. So I don't know. He has to be near the bottom for me, but he's no Dragon Boy. I'll say that.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I felt. Like when I was thinking about it before stream, I was like, man, these two could go either way. Like, but you know who also I think needs a redemption arc, and it's my number 9 pick, and that is Nice. Now I know Nice has a lot of power behind him, but we've seen that he was mostly based off fear before he became into the position that he did when Lin Ling became Nice. That's real terrifying. I'm not gonna lie. And the whole, like Ruins incident as well. Like, I do not like this guy. I felt so bad for him when in the first episode he jumps off the ledge. It's like, wow, what was going on in his life? And then we meet his like boyfriend in the second episode with the villain. And then, yeah. That was his boyfriend, right? Am I wrong? Or are they just good friends?
I ship them. I think Nice and Rek belong together.
I do too. Like that's what I thought was going on.
Confirmed it though.
Listen, he was real upset. He was like crying. He was like, he would have told me. He would have like. That's what he was definitely his lover.
Yeah. The signs, 100%. There are signs. You know, like, but nothing confirmed. But yeah, I put in my notes that Nice is the wild card because I really am not sure how to feel about his reintroduction and what it might cause for the extended plot moving forward.
Yes.
Part of me believes that he is benefiting from both trust and fear simultaneously currently because of where we left off with him
and that scar
sewer slide. Yeah. And so like if he has enough trust to shoulder out a top 10 like what a lot of people think he did with E-Soul and the power of fear, that is insane because I don't think we've ever seen somebody like we saw Nice when he was overcome by fear and he wasn't in control of it in the same way that Nice seems to be currently. So it makes me nervous. And so I don't know. It's like, it makes me feel like maybe because they mentioned that the original Zero never died. Yeah. And if the original Zero is still influencing through fear and whatnot, what if Nice is like a conduit of sorts?
Ooh, I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah. So like there's Dragon Boy trying to become the new Zero. Air quotes. Yeah. Whereas we have Nice who has maybe potentially been overtaken by the old Zero.
I mean, he did pass. Like the dude, he rode the silver slide, right? Like he was gone. He was not there any longer.
We know that they were able to like shift all of his trust value into Lin Ling, and then Lin Ling got rid of that trust value and gained his own. And maybe I don't know, they really got to explain it some more. But at the same time, it's like, if you had all of that trust value, would gravity from that height really be enough to take you out when we've seen people thrown through entire city blocks and stuff? So I'm like, I don't know. I feel kind of dumb for thinking he was deceased in the first place, but I don't know. I think that since Lin Ling and Yang Chen's arcs were so centric on like the newer gen replacing the old, maybe Nice returning as like a new Zero or as the old Zero is like an inversion of that kind of.
The older gen trying to stay relevant and the younger gen. Yeah. I like the idea. Who are you placing at 9 then?
I have Nice at 9. I have him
Nice at 9
exactly
as
in
well.
the same place that you
Let's
did.
go,
Yeah.
dude. I
So,
like when we agree.
But to speak a little bit more on it though, it's just like from a combat standing, he when it was
Very
just
efficient.
when he was well, the thing is his combat is cool and like, you know, the word air quotes perfect is thrown around, but Lolly was able to like go bar for bar with him, if not beat him in the Ruins incident, which was before he was technically top 10. I think he was around top 50, or he was around 15. I think he was top 20 by that point, but he wasn't top 10. But then again, Loli was a nobody. She probably wasn't even top 300 or something, like, you know what I mean? So like, it's from a combat perspective, I don't know if I see him unless he is, because now he is top 10, but unless he's benefiting from fear as well, I don't think because Loli technically outranks him right now, and she was on par with him back then. So I don't know. From a combat perspective, I don't see him coming out on top without significant buffs from like fear, like I said, potentially. But when it comes to the popular vote, he is uniquely poised to have been one of the very first characters introduced, and people have been able to cast their votes on the website since episode 1. He has like a 5-month head start, him and Lin Ling both respectively, on every other character on this list.
It's crazy. That is crazy. Now I'm even more excited to figure out what the rankings are right now.
Yeah, it could be very interesting. And I think that he currently is like a representation of like the tipping scales of light and dark, of trust and fear, and like the dichotomous like kind of ideology of this world and how morally gray parts of it can be.
Yeah.
And like, I really think that he's going to get a dedicated arc, because he didn't technically get one in this season. It was like Lin Ling, or it was Dragon Boy, or it was always somebody else, right?
Yeah,
so
that was interacting with him. Like Loli was interacting with him, and like that's what happened with like, yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. I think a dedicated arc for Nice could, like I said, I do want to see some kind of redemption from the guy. It's clear that he did have noble aspirations at first, because Smile was his hero. That's who made him want to be a hero, and Smile was known as like one of the nicest heroes. You know what I mean? That's probably why he chose the name Nice in the first place. It's interesting, and I want to see more from Nice, but like you said, he's a wild card right now, and while he is an efficient fighter, I just see so many people on this list that I know could take him out no problem, and not even just like physicality wise, like just Queen. If he gets matched up with Queen, he's done in the first round. Like,
I mean, if he gets matched up with Loli, because like legitimately Loli was a nobody at the Ruins incident,
and she traumatized his ass.
Trust value, which we literally did not even have an established trust value for her, because she was in a mask and nobody really knew who she was. She wasn't even a part of the HAC rankings. So like, she had virtually zero power outside of her suit alone. Now she's top 10.
Yeah.
We haven't even seen her power.
Yeah.
So like, that's all I'm saying is like, she outranks him, and even when she was a nobody, she still was able to throw hands.
What if she goes into a giant? What if? Never mind. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, what if she like her and Johnny fight, and her power is to go into like a giant mech form with her battle suit for her fallen friend that was killed in the like Ruins incident. She made fun of his mech.
That's crazy.
Character growth would be insane. Oh.
I'll speak more on Loli when we get to her, but that's a whole different story. It's just like, I do think that she gatekeeps Nice as we know of him pre fear. I do think he's benefiting from fear though, because of that facial scar though. So we're probably going to be shown a whole nother side of him, or even, like I said, old Zero maybe, which would be crazy. And that's why I put him as the wild card, but like, I graded him off of the Nice that we know.
Yeah, same. That's how I was looking at
the one
him.
that we met in the first episode. The bit of him that we saw in the finale, that's a wild card. He could, I don't know, man. He could take the whole thing, but I don't know. Yeah. I can't speak on it definitively. You know,
it would be such a blow to my heart if he did. I am. Who are you thinking for number 8?
For number 8, I'm about to break your heart all over again, I think.
Johnny's.
No, listen.
Okay, good.
I love this character, but they had so little screen time to develop themselves.
If it's Ahu, I swear to God.
Every single scene that this character had, they were piggybacking or hand-holding with another character like X or Jinya. I put Ahu at 8.
No! Ahu's 5 for me. I'm just gonna be real with you.
Hear me out. Okay, so like his trust boost was given to him by a lie. He should have lied to get where he is right now. I would love to see a version where he wins, but I don't think we live in that world where that happens. He seems like the weakest combatant by a gargantuan margin. We don't even really know what his power is, except for he can talk and do like kung fu, I guess. But like, it's like, I don't know. He hasn't had any independent showing. He has always been like a sidekick to somebody else in their scene. Even though he did get a dedicated arc, it's like it wasn't his because there was always somebody there with him.
And he couldn't talk for the first, like, we got inner monologue, but that was him retelling the story. You know what I mean? Like, but I do love Ahu. I think he has a cuteness factor that the general public of this world will love, and that will cause his trust value to skyrocket even more throughout the competition.
Has the fastest climb.
Exactly.
He holds the record for the single fastest climb from 0 to hero. But the thing is that like, I don't think that's going to get you that far. There's so much ground to make up with this character. And although I do love him, it's like, it just narratively, it doesn't make sense. Like in the popularity poll and whatnot, yes, he can get a lot of popular vote, but I don't see him actually being like a legitimate combatant. And we have never seen that from him.
I think we have seen his power. You know, all those times you see like the images of him and he's like sitting down and there's like the shadow of the big buff man with the dog head. I think that's his power. Legitimately. I don't think that's how he sees himself. I think that's his power. I think that's how people see him. I have, and you are gonna, I'm about to break your heart with this. I have Ghostblade at number 8 because I think
this man,
the old generation's on its way out. The new generation's coming in.
He's not a part of the old generation though.
He is
midway. The oldest. He's like the bridging point, I will say, but he technically got famous through FOMO, and the rise of FOMO, like basically a social media network, was the start of the new gen. So he's not technically old gen.
That's fair, but I don't know. I feel like he will see an opportunity to step away and go be with his daughter. I think that's what he wants more than anything right now, especially after the ruins incident.
She might be dead.
She might be, exactly. And maybe he wants to, maybe that's it though. Maybe like, I think narratively, right? This is why it's nothing to do with his power or anything. I think narratively, if there's anyone who will step out of the competition because of like a personal reason or because they see a way out of this hero life, it will be Ghostblade. Because he wants, for once in his life, he wants, as we saw throughout his whole story, he wants a relationship with somebody. Something he didn't really even want with his wife. Like she was just a companion to him kind of thing. And we saw how that ended for him. So he's been very hesitant and now he's being vulnerable with his daughter and then she's almost taken away from him. Like, I don't know. It just narratively to me, it feels like he will step away from the competition in some regard. Maybe not 8th place, but I think he will in the lower ranking parts step away so that he can get a little bit out of the limelight.
I think that I'll speak a lot more on Ghostblade when we get to where I rank him. But I think that if he were to step down or step away, it kind of takes away from his drive. Like before he was being used as a weapon, he didn't have a real goal of his own. Now there's at least vengeance that he has to cling on to. And it's not necessarily it's not necessarily for or against like Nice or Easel,
Yeah.
but I think against the HAC as a whole.
Of
Like
course.
like just like how Queen opposes the trust value system and wishes to abolish it, I think that he probably has. The thing is we don't get to hear him speak. We don't really get to know outside of his arc what his whole thought process is, but I do think it would be a huge L if he got this far and just gave up. You know what I mean?
I don't see it as giving up. Maybe he'll accomplish whatever goal it is that he set out to do within the tournament, right? And that will be enough for him. He doesn't need to thrive for X, and because of his disdain towards the whole collective, it's once again a FU to them as well. Which I think will play a big factor just because of everything set up in the first season. Like you said, with Queen, she wants to abolish the trust system completely. And I think that stopping it and putting up that middle finger to it will play a huge factor in the second season, just to kind of spice up the political aspects that they've kind of laid throughout this first season, if that makes sense. I think right now we should skip 8 since we have such differing opinions on it, and then come back.
I had
to it
one
later.
more thing to say about Ahu and why I put him where I did, and it's just that I saw him in a very unique and privileged position when he was able to discover not just the whereabouts but the true identity of X.
Yeah.
But as soon as he was able to figure all of this out, so did a whole bunch of these other commissions, and they sent all of these other, air quote, heroes after him and whatnot. And then he shows up at the tournament and completely reveals his face. So all of the actual pull that I think that Ahu actually had over everyone else in this tournament is now gone. I think there is.
He's got the cute appeal.
Him,
he's got that pull.
That's there are cuter characters on this list. Let's just say that. So there's a character whose entire defining arc was wanting to be a hero despite how cute she is. So I'm just going to say that. That is not enough to get you that far. I put Ahu firmly in 8th place.
Yeah, like I said, we're going to have to skip it and come back later. Because I firmly have Ghostblade. But you might be able to sway me a little bit later, unless you have him in next, which I will 100% disagree with. But we'll get there. Who do you have for 7?
For 7, I actually have Loli, and this one
so do I.
Yeah, this one is actually very complicated, almost as much of a wild card as Nice. I'm not even gonna lie, because we see them kind of teetering on the edge. Like, she looked like she was about to break bad, staring at her dad's grave, and like, there's so much more to her arc that we haven't gotten yet. Like, we kind of only got half of an arc from her, and it's really interesting because, like everything I said before when we were talking about Nice, she was able to go toe to toe and scrap with him with just technology alone. Yeah. She was able to take out a former holder of the position of X, DJ Shindig or whatever, who was overcome by fear, by using that space alloy, the alien tech or whatever that like can counteract fear and trust. So she is very unique in that she's the only person of every single one of these combatants that has access to that alloy. So it's basically like she can negate, even if someone is overtaken by fear or if they outpace her in trust, she can equalize it. And now not only is she able to like bring them down to a basic level to where they're not at top 10 strength, she retains her top 10 strength. So I think that depending on how she is written, she has probably one of the most unique standings in that she can kind of just Uno reverse like on a lot of people. Like Dragon Boy has hacks. Let's be real. Queen has hacks. X has hacks. But this neutralizes all of those if she is able to utilize it properly. So I don't know, she could get there. She is a very, very solid combatant, and like honestly everything moving forward from the 7th spot is it's tough, it's close,
it's very hard. I have her at 7 because I wrote down in my notes that she's a loose cannon for the same reasons. We don't know exactly what her powers are. We know that she can negate trust and fear, like you said. And it's really comes down to the matchup. I think if there's someone who can overpower her with other alien tech, such as Johnny, that like she gets into it with, yeah, 100%. Like, because the Johnny, like, we don't know if her powers would work against, little Johnny. Yeah, I have her down there because I just did not know where to put Loli, if I'm being honest.
She has
the potential to get
argument
up there. Yeah, exactly. How much prep time does she have with her opponents?
Well, it's not just prep time. It's like the whole super suit aspect. It's the whole vengeance aspect. Like she's terrifying.
Yeah,
she's legitimately extremely smart and resourceful and competent. But I don't see her doing well in a popular vote. But as a combatant, very solid.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Yeah, so I think a 7 is a good place for Loli. I also have a kind of loose cannon here as well, and that is Lin Ling at 6.
The commoner.
I think.
Oh man.
I think he'll get far into the competition, but I don't think he's ready for the position of X. I don't think he's ready to be in like the top 5 even. I think he has the potential to become. I think this will eventually turn into his story of becoming Hero X, but I think season 2 will be still too early within his character arc in whole to make him into that position, because he does have a very unique standing with the public where he's completely face value, right? He came out on stage, he told them straight up, yeah, they made me lie. I don't care. I'm Lin Ling. I'm still going to stop you. Like, he has almost a raw trust with the public. And I think that will give him the upper hand. But like I said, I just think narratively, he's not ready to be X. And I think eventually, once we get to the end of the series or close to it, that is when he'll become the next Hero X kind of thing.
Yeah, with Lin Ling specifically, I think there's something to drastically consider here. Is the fact that, again, these polls have been open. People have been able to cast votes for 5 months.
5 months.
He's the first guy. He's the first guy we see. He probably that was like the main thing I was thinking about. I was like, oh, so many people have already voted for this guy before we even meet people like Cyan or the Johnnies or X himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like there's that, and specifically the fact that, like you said, he is like the purer side of things. Like he's kind of undistilled. But he did still have a lot handed to him. And like, so it's like, I don't know. I think mentally he might be the most prepared because he's been pining for, like, he came up with the ad campaign at the very beginning in the first place. Like anyone could be Hero X and stuff like that. So it's like, I think mentally he might be the most prepared. I think that physically he is probably the least prepared, but from a popular vote standpoint, I think he has the craziest advantage. So I actually have him ranked higher.
Really?
On this, yeah. I don't have him at, what are we at, 6 right now?
Yeah.
I actually have the Johnnies ranked at 6.
I have them at 4.
Yes. For me, they're a bit of an anomaly. Obviously, Big Johnny is able to punch way up, and he was able to contend with like top ones. He took down a previous X, like, which is crazy.
Best
like
dad
we saw
in
in that
anime.
flashback. But like he could even be like on X or 0 level for all we know. But the thing is that as far as we know, little Johnny is not able to. He's not able to like control him to that same degree. He has had a training arc, and he has also had a significant trust boost since the Ruins incident. But I don't know. Maybe he can harness him more now with like a level of like discipline. But maybe little Johnny can even be a standalone hero now that he's top 10, because we haven't really seen him do anything by himself.
Yeah.
But like, that's the thing, is that until we get confirmation that little Johnny can stand on his own, or that he can control Big Johnny, which he wasn't able to do previously, this is like it's not enough to push them. Yeah, it's not enough to push them into my top like 5 ranking. But they're very close.
That's why I kept them towards that's why I kept him towards the bottom of the top 5, because I think he's gonna just enough, like, and that will be enough to satiate his character arc for the moment to get into that top 5 spot. You know what I mean? So maybe even 5th for him. But who do you have at 5 then? I know we're jumping a little bit.
Yeah, I gotta speak a little bit more on like my number 6 placement here. Is that, again, like, obviously, I think by the thumbnail, you know that Lucas is a little bit biased. I'm also a big Queen fan, but
yes,
Queen pre-trust boost, before the Ruins incident, like the trust boost that she got from the Ruins incident, Queen was able to negative diff Big Johnny and Isol and Nice, and like I'm like over here like, dude, like there's no shot he's even close to where she ranks.
No, definitely not.
Even with a massive glow up, she has also had a massive glow up, because she's technically, I think she's ranked number 2, like at the end of the season, which is insane. So it's like, I don't see him bridging that gap more significantly than I see other people. So I have to, that solidifies him as not top 5 material for me specifically. If he can control Big Johnny, that would be really, really great. But I think there's also something working against somebody that powerful.
Yeah.
Is that it makes you a prime target if fear does become a weapon in this tournament, which I think it will play a massive part. Yeah. Like I had said earlier, with Nice and with Dragon Boy, it's like, if somebody is trying to implement fear to throw off the trust values here and whatnot, or to like supplement, maybe you're only rank 8, but you're able to contend with like rank 2s because you have trust and fear or something like that. Like, if fear is introduced, Big Johnny becomes a prime target.
Yeah, 100%. Big surface area and everything. The reason I'd asked about your number 5 is because I could concede and put Johnny in 5. Because like I said, I do think we can meet in the middle here with him. Who do you have at 5?
For 5, I have my boy. I have Ghostblade.
Ghostblade?
I will, that
if you let me put Johnny at 5, I'll put Ahu in 8th.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Awesome.
I think Ghostblade would be 6th then, or whatever. Like, is that the spot that we're missing?
Yeah.
Before Loli?
Yeah, but spit your take on Ghostblade. Yeah. Because I did a little bit earlier.
I really enjoy this character. I love his story. I feel like he has probably the single most touching and tragic element to him, because it isn't specifically relegated to his backstory, like with Furman and like with Cyan and stuff like that. So he is shackled and restricted by this trust value system and has lived with it for well over a decade at this point. Of all of the current players, he has the most experience being in the top 10 for the longest amount of time by quite a large margin. He has had the most consistent combat experience against other top 10 heroes in these tournaments. And he didn't get to where he is right now as a result of someone else pulling strings or himself piggybacking. He's not a Nepo baby. He did have a significant trust boost when FOMO started, but he has seemingly no ties with Zach, the dude who started FOMO. So it's like he is kind of one of maybe 3 characters that you could argue did it on their own.
Yeah.
He doesn't have like straight hacks. He doesn't have like busted connections or anything like that. He didn't screw anyone over during his climb. He is the single truest martyr of anyone in this tournament. And like, he can't even tell his own story or like speak on his own behalf,
or tell his daughter he loves her.
Exactly. And like, I feel like if he were to get some sort of trust boost mid tournament, he might be able to make a compelling enough argument if he gets like a speaking moment that puts him in the top 1 spot. I do believe that like of all of the people who could be redeemed, this is by far the single most deserving individual of the entire bracket, and I will not budge on that. Some of these people don't need redemption. Some of these people desperately need redemption. This is the most deserving of redemption, I feel like.
I think he's deserving of happiness.
Yeah.
Do you think,
like, for sure,
Johnny finds out in the tournament that he'll go after Johnny Ghostblade? Like, if he finds out that it was him, because we saw that little Johnny picked up on the scent of Ghostblade and remembered it when they first met him. He did not like Ghostblade. Because I've been picking my brain about that as well. That, like, if they end up matched up and before the match he finds out it was Ghostblade, it could be the downfall of either of them. Like, it could go in the way that the Johnnies get so mad that Ghostblade gets the advantage. Like, you know what I mean? Or Ghostblade gets sloppy because he's in that sentimental mode. Like I said, I feel like his emotions coming into play will be a big part of his arc in this second season.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that being a bit of a two-way street as well, because Wong Nono, his daughter, was massively injured and might still be hospitalized after the Ruins incident, partially due to Big Johnny's crash out, and Nice's involvement was also a huge issue, and Isol's involvement was also a huge issue, which we still don't know how Isol contributes into this whole thing, but I think that there could be several things driving this character that we're not fully aware of, but I think that if he were to make the climb and attain a higher position, that maybe the trust system would not be shackling him in the way that it currently is, and he might be able to actually voice his own opinion, which would be such a peak moment. I think that, like, with Queen's speech, like, it was like an insane factor in not just her climb, but several other people's climbs, like Loli and Cyan, and like, this is a man who was able to do this without making those grand claims, without like lying. He can't lie. He can't, like, so it's like, this is somebody who I absolutely adore. I love him. I hope that he has a great showing. Do I think it's likely he wins? No, but man, would I love to see it.
Yeah, I think it's weird because I'm sitting here looking at the tier list and seeing him right next to Loli at number 7. I just think, like, how wild would it be if the trust boost he gets is Loli giving him her trust, with the arc of, like, her thinking that he was a creep and everything, and, like, I don't know, it'd just be, like, so poetic. Like,
yeah, man, that's my boy. Vote for Ghostblade because
vote for Ahu.
Okay, sure.
That leaves us at the top 4 positions right now. I had Lin Ling at number 6. Who do you have at number 4?
Lin Ling, baby.
Yeah, I fucking knew it. I don't know. I knew it was gonna be Lin Ling. I can concede to this, but I still want to hear your reasoning for 4. Because, like I said, I do think he's ready for X.
Yeah, I have a lot of hype surrounding Lin Ling returning to the spotlight, but I also have a lot of concerns. I think that, firstly, what the hell happened between him and Isol? Like, we didn't get to see it, so we don't have closure on the interaction after episode 4 when Moon was iced. So yeah, I don't know. #justice for Moon in the chat.
#justice for Moon.
But, like, yeah, like, is he a coward who ran away? Did he whoop some ass, or is he secretly bad now? I don't know. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The smile on his face for all of his promotional art and stuff, though, tells me I don't think he's gonna be a bad guy. But I bet he did whoop the hell out of Iso. I bet he opened up a can of common whoop ass on him. Like, okay. I hope so. I really hope so.
I think that poetically, thematically, it makes a lot of sense. Like I said earlier, when we were speaking on Lin Ling as a character, mentally, he might have been somebody who's been thinking about becoming X more than anybody else on this entire roster. Yeah. But I don't think that he, as a physical combatant, has had, like, the training or the time to get
wield
to
his powers.
He's one of the lowest ranking of he's the lowest ranking of the top 10, except for arguably Nice himself. So it's like, there's so much that needs to be explained for him to actually hit the number 1 spot. And I think that as a combatant, probably the single worst suited, except for maybe Ahu. as from a popular vote standpoint, he has had the clear and away the most gigantic advantage in being the first MC we get.
Yeah, that's kind of how
He's
I feel.
also
That's
very
why I put him
relatable.
higher as well. Yeah, he's very relatable. And like I said, it's that face value that he has with the general public that makes him that relatable as well. And then with the additional knowledge of him being like, you know, the first one up that you could vote for, I think Linling does have a pretty solid chance of making it into the top 5. So I will concede on the 6th spot. Obviously, we put Ghost Blade there. I think 4 or 5 interchangeably for Linling. 4, 5, and 6 interchangeably for Linling, Ghostblade, and Johnny's is perfect. If I'm being honest,
it's very close.
It's very
after
close.
the 7 mark. It's like it starts to get very, very close. I have some very controversial takes coming up, though. I think. Yeah.
Who's your number 3? Mine is Lucky Cyan.
You bastard! How dare you? Sorry. I don't know if you're ready for this.
Is it Queen? Is it my X choice?
No.
Is it X?
I have X at rank number 3, and hear me out.
Yeah, okay.
I know it's obviously like the show is partially named after him. I know he served consecutive previous terms and whatnot. I do not think that Lee Haoling as a writer would set all of this up just to have X win again. Otherwise, what are we doing here? Like, what's the whole point of establishing this massive world, the trust value system, fear, and the spotlight organization, and all of these other main characters, if we're just going to give it to the guy who's already got it when he has displayed actively he doesn't want it? And so I'm looking at X, and I think that he will always be a part of the conversation for most hacks, for most popular, for most powerful. But he himself has decided, I think, to just maybe gatekeep so that people like Dragon Boy and Isol will never get close to actually attaining the top 1 spot. And he would probably rather somebody like Queen or
Lucky Cyan
to get the position. And so I think that it's like narratively it doesn't make a lot of sense to have all of this set up just to have the rich get richer, you know what I mean? Like in the sense when he's displayed that he doesn't want that.
I have Lucky Cyan and X as 3 and 2 because I think that she has the chance to negate his power because of how lucky she is. That like whatever he does to her, she will luck her way out of it. But I just don't see her beating Queen. But I love the idea of him, like, obviously, like you said, he's gatekeeping X. He doesn't want people who have any kind of corruption to them or are driven by vengeance and things like that to have that position. He wants somebody who truly deserves it to have that position, because that's who deserves to have the most trust of the people. And I think the best 2 candidates for that are Lucky Cyan and Queen. So I'm completely comfortable with putting X in 3. But now comes the hard part of X.
Well, I have so much more to say about X. I'm not even
please
close
do.
to done. I'm sorry.
Please do. Yes. No, you're good. Yeah. Spit.
We've seen everybody else except for him pour like blood, sweat, and tears into their climb to get this far, whether it's theirs or somebody else's. Because
it's just a snap of a finger to him.
Yeah, there are Nepo babies for sure. There are people who got FOMO famous. There are people with legitimate hacks that were given to them by the people through the trust system. X is the only one who we could argue had none of that, because we don't really know his full climb yet. But he was able to do all of this without the backing of a single commission. Nobody knew his name. Nobody knew his power. Nobody knew his face. Nobody knew anything about him until he just showed up and showed his face and stuff. And so like, it's like, this is one in a world where he wanted to stay on top, he would. I don't believe this is that world. So I think that he gatekeeps, and there's only really 2 people who I do believe that he would be willing to allow to overtake his position and step down for. And we will get to them very shortly, as I think both of our next couple of choices are similar, but like, I think that
Yeah, I think so as well.
Like it's just so crazy to me, like the way that this is all written and how tangled and beautiful it all is. It like Lee Howling just absolutely knocked it out of the park. But
Yeah,
I
100%.
think if he wanted a fourth like term consecutively, he would have it already.
Yep.
I think the whole point of us standing at the precipice of this tournament is that he will not win, but he will
100%.
play a massive role in deciding who wins.
Exactly. And how the winner is received by the public and what happens with the trust system going forward. Because both Lucky, Cyan, and Queen, like X, have that distaste for the trust system. Real quick, though, not to get off topic, Saint Shade, I've been waiting to show you something. So, we've been around in many a stream where Kube has called me a celestial dragon. So I had
oh my God.
a custom hoodie made that says certified celestial. And I knew you'd love this. I'm not gonna lie. It's a good choice, I know.
From one saint to another.
Yeah, from one saint to another. But yeah, no, I have to agree. I think just to get back into it, I think X will step us. Like I said, that was my whole reasoning for him potentially being not in the contest at all, because he wanted to kind of see how it played out. Because in the end, or maybe like, you know, he's like, I'm gonna fight last or whatever, you know what I mean? And then he steps in when he wants to step in, because he is, like you said, I think he's gonna gatekeep the fuck out of this competition. If anyone takes out Dragon Boy first round, it'll be X. He'll just come in and be like, nah. Like he did. What did he do? He walked up to Dragon Boy, was cool off, and just crumpled him up into a piece of paper and
Dude,
threw him into the river.
So sick. That was notably, though, that was a Dragon Boy that was like ranked 11 or 12 or something. Now he's ranked 3, so completely different combatant potentially, but I still think X watches the shit out of him. But yeah, it's like it's set up so clearly to me that he will not win, but he will play a massive part in how this all unfolds. And he kind of just nerfed himself by showing his true face. Like, so I just like, I don't know. Well, we don't even know how powerful he is now, if he has actually had a different trust value. Look, there's so much that's an unknown about him. It's so hard to speculate, but just based off of what we've seen, dude's top of the verse. Undeniably. And he's just going to get what he wants. If he wanted to win, he would win. I don't think that's what he wants, though, based off of his actions.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, that whole speech to Ahu, where he's just laying waste to everyone around him for like 5 minutes.
I'll defy fate.
And
stuff like that. I'm like, dude, what is this guy?
I was like, this guy's cooking. He's cooking, but what is it? Yeah. He has a One Piece theorist being like, I need answers. Like,
if he does win, part of me is just going to be like, what was the point? But like,
of course,
I'm still fine with it. Actually, I think like as I've been mulling it over all week since, you know, we talked about this stream happening. Yeah. And I'm like, if he wins, I'm not even mad. But part of me is going to be like, so what was all of that then? And like, you know,
that's why I was sold that like, no matter what, I was not going to put X in X as a XXX live girls.
Yeah.
Speaking of live girls, no. So
wild.
Number 2, who you got for 2? Because I have Lucky Cyan there now. She's Queen's like right hand woman. So if she sees that Queen could get the victory, I think Lucky would secede to it. I don't think she would take the X position over Queen. And if she did, it would be something that, in my opinion, Queen would probably be a part of. You know what I mean? Like, you take it kind of thing.
As much as I love Queen, and I would love to say that she has pulled her own bootstraps up to get where she is, that's only partially true. That's only partially true. The world is more complex, and like it's not that cut and dry. Her father is in deep with Mickey and DOS, and he's even involved with the Glimmer Lab and the orphanage that Cyan came from, and he has a whole network of connections to make it seem it's like it's easy for him to influence things without Queen knowing, and it's evident that he did that to boost her speech.
Yes. Yeah.
There's also people getting FOMO famous, and that's where her speech blew up in the first place.
Mhm.
So, and there's even arguments that she didn't write her speech herself, even though it does mirror her sentiments. It's likely that she had gotten a lot of pull from that. There's also, the news article had said that from the Matchstick and Blazing Fire scandal, female heroes had gotten significantly boosted from that as well.
Yes.
Plus Boa was already mid-climb. So like there's so much about Queen's come up that you can't actually attribute to her herself. Although she does have determination and resolve, and she does put up results, and she does hard work and whatnot. She embodies a lot of what I love and what I would love to see in this world. And she refused assistance and collusion and handouts all along the way as she was cognizant of them. But
Yes.
that doesn't mean that she got where she was by herself.
Yeah.
And in fact, she got into the top 10. She did not reach the number 2 spot by herself. It was actually only through accepting Lucky Cyan and her friendship and her luck boost. So I do think that like there's a lot to be said about Queen's character, and I do love her, but to a degree she has a folly where she does not actually, her story doesn't reflect what her actual values are.
Yeah.
Fully. She's extremely competent, and she has been shown to punch up way more than probably anyone in this entire bracket, because she was like rank 8 and she took out like rank 2 Esol and somebody who was able to take out a previous X. Yeah, so like she is so capable of punching up, but I do also believe that this makes her not just a good target, but the prime target.
Oh, 100%.
If fear is to be utilized and implemented into this tournament,
yeah,
that is the number one candidate for you
Queen
to overtake.
Succumbs to fear, I will cry so hard.
Did you watch the credits of the finale?
Yes, I did.
Because there is a lady who looks shockingly like Queen, who seems to be drenched in fear.
Yeah. Yeah, that's scary. That's super scary.
It's terrifying, and legitimately, if Queen is overtaken, I think there's only 1 or 2 people who actually have a chance.
There's only one
rescuing her.
Yeah, and it's Lucky Cyan.
It is
realistically
1000% is Lucky Cyan.
Yeah, and Johnny,
and that's why I rank
would probably help a little bit because they are close as well.
Johnny would probably get corrupted as well, and guess what?
Probably.
Lucky Cyan can save them too. Lucky Cyan is the only person on this list who has confirmed defeated fear without alien space tech.
Yeah, 100%.
The only one.
And she saved the person as well.
Exactly. Like I could speak so much about, I have a full essay on Lucky Cyan right now and why I put her over Queen, and why Queen is my number 2 and Lucky Cyan is my number 1.
I'm thinking about it too right now. Lucky, like Cyan, she has that power, right? Of luck. If anyone has the chance to make it through the whole tournament off of luck alone, it's her. And obviously that's not her only fucking thing. She's a skilled hero as well. We've seen her in combat with her bow and everything. She knows what she's doing. I am comfortable putting Lucky at the X spot, but I think it will be interchangeable with Queen, for me at least, until I see the season. Because I really think that Queen and her values is what puts her above the rest, but I also agree with you that fear will probably come into play with her storyline. And if anyone can overcome Queen in a fearful way, it's gonna be Cyan.
My whole argument with Cyan, and I'm aware that I'm fully biased, I get it, but hear me out. Okay. Cyan, above all others, has the most experience fighting off fear, like I said, except for arguably Loli, because she has that alien tech. But
yeah,
and we do think it's very likely that fear will play a major part in the tournament.
Yes.
But Cyan's entire initial rise to the top was centered around two things: was the truth about the plane crash coming to light, and with her stopping the first major public fear outbreak
Yes.
of the whole timeline in the sector with the orphanage. So she was able to talk no jutsu somebody out of being controlled by fear, and she was able to like shoot the little arrows into people and like liberate them as well. So like she was able to do things, and she's been able to do things that none of these other people are able to do. Every single major weakness and thing that's holding back every single one of these other heroes, it doesn't affect Cyan.
Yeah, no.
She is insane. And with FOMO being bigger than ever, and Zach, the guy behind FOMO, being like the only one of the major commission leaders that we didn't get a significant showing from, I think that FOMO is going to like play a huge part in the tournament as well, the social media presence and whatnot. And that'll start to like, maybe that's how these tournament results get implemented, because what are we doing? We're going on to social media, and we're voting.
Exactly. We're posting,
and so, like,
and yeah,
it's like, it makes the most sense to me. And so like with her being so close to Queen and the Johnnies, and with me mentioning before in my rankings, those are the two most prime targets for overtaking with fear. She would be the one who would be able to liberate the both of them from being corrupted. And like, aside from like being perfect, like nice, and whatever X has going on, Cyan probably has the most cracked hacks of all of the rest of the bracket, like you were saying, even more so than Queen. And
her and Queen just have straight hacks. Both of them are just
although she's not like a dedicated combatant, she doesn't really need to be to win because of her power. And so from a popular vote perspective, I think she comes out on top of almost all of these characters. And she was also introduced, she's got crazy motion, and she was introduced very early on. She was the first one with the 2D animation. So not as early as Lin Ling or Yang Chen, but like I do think that she has like a significant like benefit from being introduced as earlier as she was. But there's so much more. Like her origin story was all about the faith that people put into her to let her continue to live on and make the world a better place. And she has had her trust values since she was 3 years old, which is probably longer. It's like 15 years. That's probably longer than everyone else here has had their trust value, except for maybe Ghostblade.
Ghostmain.
Which is crazy. So she is the hype. She is the hope. She is able to do all of these things that other people can't. She can like sing and inspire people and tell her own story, and even tell other people's stories, which Ghostblade unfortunately can't. She doesn't need alien tech to break fear like Loli. She can do it by herself. She inspires people to live and overcome where like with her power given to her by the people, whereas Nice was shackled by it and chose to jump off a cliff or a building by the weight of being perfect. She doesn't need to deal damage to Dragon Boy or take damage like Dragon Boy does to display his power. She gave up her former glory and started from zero after she was a maiden. Instead of what Lin Ling and Yang Chen did, who both cheated and grabbed somebody else's trust values. And she still outranks both of them. Yeah.
I think Johnny and her have the purest form of like a trust value, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. She has been in the limelight almost her entire life, whereas X has stayed hidden. And nobody even really knew his powers. Everybody knows her powers. Literally everybody, unlike X. She embodies the power of friendship, which Queen ignored and shied away from, until Cyan herself convinced her she needs to chill and relax.
And have friends, and go on vacation to the ruins.
She actually took her climb into her own hands and took it very seriously, unlike little Johnny, who, let's be real, most of his climb is because of Big Johnny, and he didn't take it seriously at all. He was just goofing off, farting around, playing video games at the Hero Tower. Whereas she is the one who he asked to help him make his climb when he started to take it seriously. So like Lucky Cyan has such a one up over everybody here. She didn't lie to get where she is like Ahu. In fact, it was the truth about the plane crash.
You gotta shit on my boy like that.
I'm being 100% real right now. Like nothing I'm saying is a lie. She's never worn a mask. She's never been put in a box or shackled or restricted by the trust value system, unlike every single one of these other characters. And she is also able to counteract fear by herself, unlike anyone. None of these characters, none of them can say both of those two things. She can. She is, in my opinion, she has the best lateral advantage across the entire bracket 1v1. Some other characters might have better individual matchups, but I think that collectively she is the most consistent potential across the whole bracket. And even in a worst case scenario where they're overcome with fear, that is my GOAT. And I'll be absolutely demolished and crushed if something bad happens to her, but she's top 1, baby.
Yeah, I was just going to say real quick, when Johnny showed up in the end of the season, and it was after his training arc from the Ancient Ruins incident, oh my God. I got goosebumps everywhere. I was like, look at my boys. Look at my boys. So as we're getting near the end of the stream now, we have our placements on the tier list. What are the official standings right now, Vex?
Yeah, if you follow the link in the pin post here, I'll start from the very bottom. I'm not going to read the exact trust value that's been assigned to them because it's a lot of big numbers, but we've got every single hero here has received at least a minimum of like 9 million support. Woo! Like at number 11, we have Dragon Boy.
Let's go.
At number 10, the fans have voted Loli.
What?
At number 9, we have Ahu.
What?
At number 8, we have the Johnnies.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
At number 7,
this is Western audience's fault.
At number 7, we have E-Soul.
Oh, what?
You're not ready for this one. At number
Edgelord
6,
fans.
At number 6, and there's quite a gap in between 7 and 6 here. I'll note that right now. At number 6, we have Queen.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm 100%. I'm so
That's
serious
crazy.
right now.
Did they watch the show?
Then we have Ghost Blade at number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky Cyan at number 4.
Crazy.
And entering into the top 3, we have Nice and Lin Ling,
and then X,
followed by X is the number 1. And so this is what I was saying before, is that there is a significant bonus that you get from being introed at the very beginning of the season.
And apparently at the very end.
Lin Ling probably only has, I want to say, he has over twice the amount of trust value that the number 4 place Lucky Cyan has, because he was introduced like a month ahead of her.
What up, Mel? Yeah, that's
and that
this
just
is
blows
crazy.
my mind.
This is just crazy to me in general. How?
I know. Like, and that's how I think E-Soul is so high. He's ranked like number 7. There's no way he should be ranked that high. And it's because he was introed like over a month before some of like 3 months before we ever even got to meet Ahu and stuff like that. So it's like, although I don't rank Ahu that highly myself, I love him. Don't get me wrong. I'm not shitting on the boy. He's great. But there is just like a huge advantage from these polls being open for 5 months now, and us only meeting some of these characters like a month ago, you know?
It's crazy. That is crazy. I can't believe that. Well, if you want the real listing, make sure you stay tuned for those. I'm just wild happy to me.
Lucky Cyan at the number 4 spot. She almost has like if you guys all vote for her right now, she probably beats out Nice. It's like a pretty close gap to get her into the top 3. And then
now the Johnnies and Ahu need my love, Vex. Lucky's gonna be okay. So does my queen.
Listen to me. There's zero chance they are getting even close to the number 1 spot. Just to give it in perspective, I'm looking at the numbers right now. Let me count the numbers of zeros. Okay. X has like, in first place, he has like 3 times the amount that 4th place has. It's like, it is such a huge gap. It is insane how big of a gap there is. X has like
This is
over
what
twice
happened.
as much as the number 3 spot. Like it's he has like over like I can't. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has
Guys,
400 million trust
Jesus, dude.
value.
Jesus.
And Lucky Cyan has like 108 million. So it's like it's not close.
I'm just gonna say it. I love how widespread anime is getting, but this is what happens when normies get into anime. They all see all these brilliant fight scenes and stuff, and they're like, "These are the guys I want to vote for." No, look at the character substance, people. Look at that
You also
shit.
have to think
That's
about
what
it.
you got to think
A
about.
lot of people might not have even finished the series.
Yeah,
Like,
they might have just seen the
gotten,
clips of X and been like, "Oh."
Yeah, and it's like it's crazy because we just met X, and for him
Yeah.
to be like
That
such
high.
a landslide ahead, it's insane. It's
Yeah.
so insane to me.
Any final thoughts before we close out stream tonight, brother?
Man, I just can't wait. I cannot wait for season 2. I think we'll probably not get it until like maybe 2027 or something like that. I think it's going to be a minute because I'm pretty sure Lee Haoling is working on Link Click season 3 right now. I wake up every day and I pray for news. I know we're going to get a season 2. I need to know when. So just everybody go vote. Go vote for your favorite. You know who my favorite is, clearly. Like, she's the GOAT. But vote for your favorite. I want this to be a huge thing. I want us to all be able to enjoy season 2 together when it comes out. Can't wait to yap about this more and more and
Even more,
as it becomes, as season 2 approaches and gets announced and whatnot. So like, it's my whole personality. I love this show, dude. It's so good.
Well said. I couldn't agree more. I think this is one of the most fantastic showings of a Donwha that we've ever gotten. In it breaking into the mainstream that it did, this deserves the hype and love that Solo Leveling undeservingly gets. Not to throw super shade at Solo Leveling, but to throw super shade at Solo Leveling. This is what real animation is about as well, with the mixed mediums that they brought into the show and tying that into a character's power system. Just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And I cannot wait for more, just like you said, Vex. It's a series that's got me thinking.
Wait. I seen you move stuff. Hold on.
What do you
That's
mean?
not the tier list we agreed.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Put it back.
I did.
Put it back, Lucas.
Put it back. He said, wait. And with that, we are going to close it out tonight. Thank you again for joining us for a live episode of Rambling Addiction. I've been working on a massive One Piece Theory episode of Rambling Addiction, guys. I'll just be real about it. It will not even drop next week. I'm going to do an episode where I'm talking about the One Piece anime next week, actually, because I have a bit of a controversial opinion on it. So make sure you are subscribed and tuning in for that. That being said, Vex, it was amazing having you. I always love having you on episodes of Rambling Addiction because we ramble a lot together already in VCs. So why not do it on on a live stream, right? But yes, I've been Straw Hat Lucas. Once again, this has been Vexyz the Lurking Legend, co-host of the 3-episode test podcast. And if you want more of me and Vex bantering like this, and with our homies SSJ, Cody, and Jacoby DJ, make sure you go check that out. It's one of the funnest pieces of content that I get to do on the channel, and I get to hang out with the boys, and we all love it so much and love doing it. So yeah, make sure you check it out. And more importantly than anything that I've said or that Vexyz has said in this stream, I want y'all to have a wonderful, wonderful night.